Hi everyone, and welcome to your next Humanities lesson. Today we're going to be looking at Islamophobia. Here are our objectives. All learners will reflect upon what they've learned this lesson. Most learners will interpret the Quran to gain a deeper understanding, and some learners will analyse a source to gain an understanding of the media. Okay, so as you can see at the top, Islamophobia is our title for today. So could you please put that in your books or on your paper with the date. Okay, let's get started. So Islamophobia. What I would like you to do in your book is your prediction or your understanding so far of what Islamophobia is. I would like you to write, I predict that Islamophobia means I think this because etc, etc. I've added 4 images to this slide to help you make that decision about what you're going to write. I'm now going to give you 2 minutes to please write those 2 sentences. So please pause the video. Okay, welcome back. So you might have used the images. You see the end Islamophobia signs. You see Islamophobia is not a freedom. Hateful and aggressive speech is not a freedom of speech. And on the other side, you see radical Islam is the new Nazi, go home, US border, you enter in a Sharia-free zone, and the infidel Allah warned you about. These are the negative signs that you see, which are kind of the cause of Islamophobia. No more mosques, written on this sheet here. So the answer was, in fact, Islamophobia is prejudice against, hatred towards, or irrational fear of Muslims or the Islamic faith. This is a problem in the UK due to our high percentage, and especially in the last 20-30 years, of members in communities who follow the religion of Islam, a religion just like a Christianity, a Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism. So why is Islamophobia a problem? There are many negative terms that you might have heard reference to Muslims today. Terrorist, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, fanatics, fundamentalists, Taliban. These are all derogatory terms that can be very offensive to someone who follows the religion of Islam. These are negative, stereotypical terms that can be very offensive and used in offense towards people. I'd just like to show you this image of where we're looking at the root of the source of where a lot of Islamophobia came from. And you might recognize some events like the Paris terror attack and 9/11. So this is what we're going to look at today. This is what might start many unconscious bias, some prejudiced views, all different things you can imagine, and people feeling this way towards the faith of Islam. What we're going to do is try and debunk that today, and we're just going to give a little information about how to be anti-Islamophobic, how to make sure you understand the religion of Islam and you have respect for all religions and their followers. So the Quran is the holy book for Islam, a bit like our Bible. Here are some quotes from it. Whoever kills an innocent person, it is as if he has killed all of humanity. And the Hadith 2445, the Prophet said, whoever commits suicide with a piece of iron will be punished with the same piece of iron in the hellfire. And a man was inflicted with wounds and he committed suicide. And so Allah said, my slave has caused death on himself hurriedly, so I forbid paradise for them. We're looking at an interpretation here of the Quran. We've taken some quotes from it, where a lot of people refer to the Islamic faith as being violent, as not being caring. There's reference to suicide bombing attacks. There's all this idea that that is part of the Islamic faith, where we can see the quotations from the Quran that this can be counteracted. And these quotes such as, if you kill a person, you've killed all of humanity. If that's based part of the Quran, it finds it very difficult to say this is a violent religion. From reading this passage in the Quran, I found out that Muslims believe, and then I'd like you to write that out. What did you find? What did it tell you? And then at the end, this does not compare to the priorities of ISIS, the terrorist group. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes on that. Please pause the video and press play when you're ready. Okay, welcome back. So, moving on. I'd like you to analyze this image. Use your problem-solving skills to find out the hidden message. Okay, I'm not going to say much more. Just want to have a look at it. Have a look at it for about 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And then I would like you to write a sentence. In this image I see, or this image represents. And then when you're ready, resume the video and we'll have a quick discussion and I'll talk about it. Okay, welcome back. So when I see this image, what do I think the artist is trying to show me? As you can see, it's the hand of the media, the black spray paint, and then we have the symbol of Islam. Okay, the half moon and the star, you might have recognized it before. What we see is the black spray has filled in the circle and added a bomb shape to the symbol. What they're referring to is the media is portraying Islam as a violent religion. It's portraying Muslim people to have a terrorist agenda. This is not all media, but this is the case of where do we get these images from? Where do we hear about this? We all are accessing media every day of our lives, be it media websites, be it newspapers, be it social media and the friends you have, retweeting different things, sharing on Facebook, okay, and sharing news stories, or even just retweeting someone else's opinion. We are constantly given different opinions, and these are part of the media, the World Wide Web, Twitter, Facebook, everything, okay? So when I say media, there are the main websites, there are the main newspapers, but it can be something as simple as social media. So what I see is obviously the media, the artist is trying to show me that the media is taking the religion of Islam and its Muslim followers and portraying it as a dangerous religion. Okay, so you might have had something similar, you might have seen something slightly different. Please make sure you have that sentence in your books. Okay, moving on. A few things, stats and statistics. 36 of media headlines about British Muslims overall are about terrorism. The most common objectives we used were radical, fanatical, fundamentalist, extremist and militant. Most common nouns were terrorist, extremist, suicide bomber, and very few positive nouns such as scholar. And references to radical Muslims outnumbered reference to moderate Muslims by 17-1. This is a choice in the news on what to put, what they feel makes the most entertainment, what they feel is the most juiciest story, and what type of propaganda a media outlet can create. This goes back to the hot air balloon lesson that you will be looking at in 2 lessons time. And I want you to remember Islamophobia when you're doing it. It's that idea of selectiveness. It's selective information on what you see. If you're constantly told something is negative and something is wrong, then you're going to feel that, okay, and you don't know the whole story. And you're going to end up painting people with a whole brush, and that's where stereotyping and looking at people as groups comes along. Stereotyping can be very dangerous and beneficial. It can be safe to stereotype certain things if you want to keep yourself in a safe situation, but it's also very dangerous as you paint everyone with the same brush, and then you can start to have prejudiced views and judge someone before you meet them or fully understand themselves and their culture. The media does not show the true Muslim opinion on terrorism and ISIS. The way that it can be looked around at is that sometimes the media can say Muslim faith belongs with ISIS hand in hand, when they're not looking at there is people in the Islamic faith, and the majority of the Islamic faith do not agree with the terrorism or with ISIS. Here's some examples, and a massive controversial figure at the minute. I decided to leave him in here just because, never mind the person, if you like him or you disagree with him, it's that everyone's entitled to their opinion. But this is a tweet that I thought was quite to the point and makes sense. These murderers aren't refugees, nor are they real Muslims. They are terrorists who've hijacked a religion for nefarious gain. So what it's saying is these people are terrible people who have used the religion of Islamic to make a statement. These aren't true Muslim people. They don't represent the faith of Islam. They don't represent Muslim people. But But what he's saying they are is that people who've used that to make a statement to the world and make themselves popular and make themselves known, but it's all through nefarious gain for themselves and to cause havoc themselves, as they're not good people. Okay, for example, the two images, not in my name, I am a Muslim, please don't hate me. It's when associating everything and blaming the faith of Islam, you're putting these people in the same category as those who have done the terrible things. Reflection. This is the main task I'd like you to look for. You would need to use maybe half a page on a summary of today's lesson and what you now know about Islamophobia. In today's lesson, I've learned many things. Firstly, and I'd like some information behind that, I've given you a list of connectives to use. Secondly, in addition, furthermore, in comparison, and also. And on the left is keywords: Quran, prejudice, terror, Muslims, peace, stereotype. These are all words I've discussed. It's quite a short lesson. It'll take you the hour though. You should be close to about halfway through the lesson, maybe more. I would just like at least half a page completed on what you've learned today. Make sure to include as many keywords as possible that you picked up. You can always rewind on the lesson if there's anything that you wanted to add to your paragraph, or you wanted to hear me speak about anything in more detail. Your teachers are accessible for your Teams chat. If you have any further questions, I wanted to go briefly through Islamophobia to get an understanding of how Islamophobia has come about, and how the idea of Islamophobia and the creation of Islamophobia can come from sources all around us. So I hope you've learned something today, and enjoy writing your reflection, and I will see you next lesson. Thank you.